Hello everyone. So in today's lecture we are going to solve linear programming problem with the help of simplex method. Okay. So as we have seen what are the steps involved in solving simplex problem in our last lecture, now we are going to apply those steps with the help of example. Okay. So first step was to convert any problem given in a form of standard form. Standard form involves three things: that our objective function should be in maximization form, constraints equation should be in the form of less than equals to, and our non-negative restriction should be applied. Okay, variable should have non-negative restrictions on them. So all three conditions are applicable on this problem, so this step is not required. Next step is convert inequalities to equality constraint by introducing a slack variable. Okay, so I will just convert my constraint equation. These two are my constraints equation in form of equality constraint. So what will be the method? x1 x2 I have to convert in form of equation. So since this side is less than 4, so I have to add some variable in it to make it equal to 4. So that variable is called slack variable. Okay. Similarly, for another equation I am going to add another new variable s2, which will make my left hand side and right hand side equal. Okay, so that's how I converted my two equations, inequality constraints and equality constraints. Okay, next step is to write updated problem. Updated problem means if it was minimization, now my new problem was in form of maximization. What are the two new variables are added in my constraint equation that should be reflected in my non-negative restrictions as well as objective function. So we will see how we are going to modify it. So my objective function is to maximize z. Okay, in that I am having 4 variables now: x1, x2, s1 is having coefficient 0, s2 is having coefficient 0. Okay, so that is my new objective function subjected to again x1 plus x2 plus coefficient of s1 is 1, coefficient of s2 is 0, which will make it equals to 4. Okay, similarly for second constraint equation with the coefficient 0, s2 with the coefficient 1 is equals to 2. Okay, and now all the variables in my problem should be non-negative. So this is my updated problem. Now I am going to solve this problem with the help of simplex method. So for that I have to create my simplex table as we discussed earlier. Now what are my basic variable? Okay, basic variable are, suppose if I put x1 equals to 0 and x2 equals to 0. Okay, so these are value of my non-basic variable. So then my basic variable will be value of s1 equals to s2, s1 equals to 4, s2 equals to 2, which is nothing else but b. If I write in the form of this constraint equation form of matrix, it will be a into x equals to b. So all the basic variable will have a value of b's, like s1 is having value of 4, that is my b1, this is my b2. Okay, so I am having two basic variable in this question, s1, s2. Okay, how many variables I am having? x1, x2, s1, s2, total 4 variables are there. Okay, so now we will write value of basic variable in this. Basic variable value is 4, for s1 it is 4, for s2 it is 2. Okay, what is the value of non-basic variable? For x1 it is 0, s2 it is 0. Okay, or you can say the coefficients of basic variable in my objective function. Okay, after that Cj are the coefficients of variable in objective function. X1 coefficient is 3, x2 coefficient is 2, x1 coefficient is 0, x2 coefficient is 0. So these are coefficient value of basic variable. These are also coefficient of all the variables. These are value of basic variable. Okay, so I write it all the terms. Now I want to find out x1 coefficient in first constraint equation. So that is, for x1 coefficient is 1, for x2 coefficient is again 1, for s1 it is 1, for s2 it is 0. Again in second constraint equation, x1 coefficient is 1, x2 coefficient is minus 1, s1 coefficient is 0, s2 coefficient is 1. Okay, so this is my table which I got from my problem. Okay, now I have to calculate these z, okay, z value, and then I'm going to calculate my delta j's minimum ratio. Okay, so what is z? Z is 0 in this case. How? Cb into xb is 4 plus 0 into 2 is again 0, so it is 0. Okay, summations of all cb into xb. Now here also summation of cb into zb j minus cj is the formula. So this will be what it will become. It will become, this is my cb, 0 into 1 is 0, plus 0 into 1 is again 0, minus cj is 3, so it will become minus 3. Similarly 0 into 1 is 0, 0 into minus 1 is 0, minus 2, so it will be minus 2. This will be 0, 0. For the first table, this will be negative of my cj's. For first table of simplex, since coefficient of basic variables are 0 in objective function, so this delta j's will be negative. Now we are going to check optimality conditions, and if it is not satisfied, then we will form new table. Okay, for that we will see the step number 5. So in step 5 we are going to check the optimality of our problem. Okay, so as we have seen that z values, delta j value, not z, delta j values are less than 0. If delta j's are less than 0, there are two possible cases. It can be non-optimal solution or it can be no solution. If you will see both the rows, these are all positive, this one is positive, so this condition is not satisfied, that the column element in corresponding element in column is negative. This element is non-negative, that's why this problem is not a non-solution problem. Okay, so what kind of problem it is now? Non-optimal solution. So now we will find out optimal solution. How? First we will find out our incoming variable. Incoming variable is non-basic variable, means out of these variable it will be there. Okay, these variable, one variable, basically it will be from my non-basic variable, that is x1 and x2. Which one is having most negative? So both are negative, but which is most negative? It is 3. So delta x1 is my incoming variable. So this variable will become basic variable in next table of simplex. Okay, then after that what we will find out? Minimum ratio. How we will find out minimum? This is zb, in this case my xb, and in this case xj is equals to x2, 1. Once I will just clear it. Okay, so incoming variable is identified. So xb by xj is, where xj is what, x1. Okay, so 4 divided by 1 is 4, 2 divided by 2 divided by 1 is 2. Now what is the next step? We have to find out which one of these two basic variable will be outgoing variable. So smallest non-negative, both are non-negative, and out of them 2 is smallest one, then s2 will be my outgoing variable. Okay, so this step is also done. Now we have to find out our pivot element, which will be at the intersection of these outgoing and incoming variable. So this intersection element 1 is my pivot element. Okay, so 1 is my pivot element. Now what is the next step? Replace outgoing variable in basic variable column with incoming variable. Okay, so now we will form new table. Okay, in this I am having my new table. Incoming variable is x1. Okay, so now what we will do, in this basic variable column, in place of s2 we will write x1. Okay, x1. Now what are the coefficient? These coefficient will remain always same. For objective function, coefficients are not changing. Okay, so in objective function, what is the value of s1 coefficient? That is 0. For x1, what is the value? 3. Okay, now this whole will get changed depending upon my pivot element. This is 1, so I don't have to make it 1. It's already 1. If suppose it's 4, then I have to divide whole row with 4. But since it's here 1 itself, so this element will become 1, and remaining whole row will remain same in my new table. Okay, next is now corresponding element. All other elements I have to make 0. So this element I have to make 0 now. Why I have to make 0? Because now this I want to make equal to my outgoing variable, that is 0 1. Okay, so this whole column should be identical to this column. Okay, so now what is that? So to make this 0, what I have to do, I have to multiply for all other rows. This condition is satisfied. I don't have to divide by any pivot element because it's 1 itself. If I divide whole row with 1, it will still remain same. Okay, next step is for all other rows, new row. New row is, which one is my new row? Row R1 dash is my new row. Current row is what? This one is my current row minus pivot column coefficient. Okay, that is 1. Okay, 1. Okay, sorry, this element, that is also 1, and pivot element in new row is also 1. So that will be my formula. So in place of 1, we will write this for whole row. New row is R2 is my new pivot row, this whole row. Okay, so how it will be applicable? My older row is 4 1 1 1 0, and then I have to minus. If I multiply with 1, it will remain same. So 2 1 minus 1 0 1. So what are my new elements? New elements are 4 minus 2 is 2, 1 minus 1 is 1, sorry 0, 1 minus 1 is 2, 1 minus 0 is 1, 0 minus 1 is minus 1. So these are my new R1 elements. So here I am going to change it 2, 0, 2, 1, minus 1. So now this is my new table. Again I have to check delta j's. So how I am going to check it? 0 into 0. I will multiply here and again multiply here and add them. 0 into 0 is 0, 3 into 3 is 3 into 1 is 3 minus cj, that is 3. So this element will become 0. Again same thing I will do. 0 into 2 is 0, 3 into minus 1 is minus 3, minus j is minus 2. So new element is minus 5. Okay, then again 0 into 1 is 0, 3 into 0 is 0, minus 0 is again 0. Okay, similarly 0 into minus 1 is 0. Okay, then 3 into 1 is 3 and minus 0. So this value will be 3. Okay, now I will just clear these extra calculations. Okay, so now this is my new table. Again check the if. What is the next step? Next step is check the optimality test. Since all the j's are not positive, again so this is not feasible solution. This one is negative, so this is my incoming variable in new table. And how I will find out outgoing element? That will be xb divided by x2 elements. So 2 divided by 2 is 1 and 2 divided by minus 2 is minus 2. So here it is written non-negative, smallest non-negative element. Okay, so smallest non-negative element is, this is negative, so we are going to ignore it. So this is my outgoing element. S1 is my outgoing element. And what is pivot element? Pivot element is 2. Okay, so in new table x1 and x2 are my, x1 is here. I will just rewrite it. So this incoming variable is x2. Here it was already there in this table, x1. Okay, coefficient value, this is 3, 2, 0, 0 from my objective function. So x1 coefficient value is how much? 3. x2 coefficient value is 2. Okay, now we have to check pivot element. Pivot element is 2. So I have to make it 1. So I have to divide whole row. I can only change this much amount of matrix. Okay, so whole row I will divide with 2. I will get 1, 0, 1. 1 divided by 2 is half minus half. Okay, now what about other rows? Other rows, again how I will get? New R2 dash I will get from older R minus pivot column element, what it is? Minus 1. Okay, so I have to make this minus 1, it will become minus plus. Okay, let it be like this, minus, it is minus into pivot element is minus 1 into R1 new. This is my new R1. Okay, so what is my older R2? R2 is 2, 1, minus 1, 0 and 1. subtract, multiply with minus 1, so it will become indirectly plus 1. Then new elements 1 0 1 half. Okay, so 1 0 1 half minus half. Okay, so what are my new elements? 2 plus 1 is 3, 1 plus 0 is 1, minus 1, 1 is 0, 0 plus half is half itself, 1 minus half is again half. So these are my new row elements in this. So this value will be 3, this is 1, this is 0, this is half, then plus half. Okay, so this is again my new simplex table. After that I have to calculate delta j's. Okay, so what is delta j? Sorry, I forgot to calculate z over here. So z is 0 into 2 plus 3 into 2 is 6. Okay, so again here also my z value will be 2 into 1 is 2. So 2 plus 9 is 11. Okay, now delta j's I have to calculate. What is the value? 2 into 0 is 0, 3 plus 1 is 1, minus 3 is 0. 2 into 2, 2, 3 into 0 is 0, minus 2, again 0. Then 2 into half is 1, plus 3 into half is 3 by 2. Okay, then minus Cj is 0, so it will be 5 by 2. 2 into minus half is minus 1, 3 into half is 3 by 2, and what is my Cj value? It is 0 minus 0. So what is new value? It is half. Okay, done. So these are my new delta j's. So I will just clear other things, earlier calculations once. Okay, so in this all delta j's are my greater than 0. So this condition is satisfied. So this is my feasible solution. So what is the value of objective function for this feasible value? Z is equals to 11. This is my, and the optimal solution for that is x1 new value is 3, because these are value of basic variable. What are my basic variable? x1 and x2. So x1 is equals to 3 and x2 is equals to 2. Okay, so this is my final solution for the given problem, where my objective function value is maximum value is 11 at the point when x1 is equals to 3 and x2 is equals to 1. Sorry, not 2, it's 1. x1 is equals to, x2 is equals to 1. These are my basic variable values. Okay, so that's all for today's lecture. Thank you.